Good morning. So it's October 25th today. So today is the last day of the 50th key transit to the cauldron and of this year, right? And so as I dig into gene keys, and a lot of times I focus on the current transits, and sometimes I just open my book and I start learning about one or learning new things about one that I thought I already knew about. And it just shows me like all the ways that these different spheres, these different gene keys really fit into our day-to-day life and into humanity as a whole, right? And so I was cleaning my kids' room and I came across these cans that we made when I was pregnant with Silas. And we created these when we were doing the maternity pictures that I did, right? And so these are all about communication. You know, one person would put it to their ears or to their mouth while the other person put it to their ears, and so they could communicate. And as I really contemplate the aspects of the 50th gene key, and I think about the shadow of corruption, and you know, the gift is equilibrium and the city is harmony. Okay, so, and if you want to learn more about this, check out the blog article, check out the YouTube video. And what I'm going to talk about now is just going to be a little bit different than what you're going to find in those two other forms of communication. So the reason I bring this up and the reason I am talking to you about it now is because another form of communication that I don't think people realize comes through the corruption of a transcript. Okay, so let's think about that in the terms of playing telephone. How many times have you said something to someone, but by the time it got to 5 other people, it's lost its message? It's not pure anymore, right? So that happens all the time, and that happens at every level, okay? When we're thinking about communication, it starts out as like this pure message. And then it gets translated. Well, then that translation gets translated, and that translation gets translated. And I take this and I take this in so many areas of life. Okay, let's talk about religion. How many times has something been translated? And how much of it got lost in translation? And so now we play this part, or we're a part of this, you know, organized religion that believes a certain set of philosophies or rules to live by, when we really don't know what that original message really was, okay? Bear with me, I'm not attacking religion. So then, let's think about just basic communications between human beings, right? How many times have we told somebody something that didn't come out exactly the same way we told it down the road? Or how many times, and even in politics, this happens all the time, right? And then, I mean, I could just go down that rabbit hole and I choose not to. So there's so much to be seen through this 50th gene key, through the shadow of corruption, and how it lives within so many aspects of life, until we as each individuals can do the self-work that is necessary to evolve who we are and our message, and get that message to the group correctly in its pure form, so that we can all reach the state of equilibrium. And in order to do that, in order for there to be a collective equilibrium, each part of that group has to bring their own equilibrium. And without doing our own self-work, without going in and pulling out all the pieces, let's Marie Kondo this mess, right? Let's do it to ourselves. Let's pull all the shit out. Let's throw it all out on the table, and piece by piece, go through and evaluate and determine what's authentic to us, what's not authentic to us, what pieces were given to us that we just don't really like, we don't really want anymore, and we want to get rid of it, right? The cauldron. Let's mix it up and let's come up with something new. Let's come up with something true, something pure. And as we create this equilibrium within ourselves, then the group, person by person, will begin to find this equilibrium, and the entire group will be able to spread the truth as it is for that group, right? The process of equilibrium out into humanity. But it can't just happen overnight. It's never gonna happen overnight. And I guess the point is, right? Stop and think about it. Don't just take everything at face value. Don't just take and think that a story that's being told to you is exactly how it was told in the first place, unless it's coming from the person who told the story in the first place, okay? So that was just a little tidbit of thought, more thought into the 50th Gene Key. So I'm curious how this pops up for you, where you can think of areas in your life that you kind of see this happening, and what part can you play in not continuing to allow this type of corruption to control you, your life, your decisions, your friendships, your relationships, your career, right? I think I said right about half as many times as I said it in yesterday's video. Bear with me, it's a work in progress. Somewhere down the line, apparently, I picked up on saying the word right while I'm contemplating my next thought. Have an idea where that came from, but I'm working on it, as we all are working on our own things. So I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. I'd love to hear what you think about this particular Gene Key, and yeah, have an awesome day.